All right, you're creating videos or you're writing content and it really doesn't sound like you. And there's probably a reason why. And I'm going to show you something in this video that is going to blow your mind. And it's something I don't think a lot of people think about, but it's something I call a primer. Now, there are 3 other primers that I refer to. I call it the My Story Primer, the Offer Primer, and the Avatar Primer. But I've got one more for you that I think is going to blow your mind and make your content sound exactly like you from this point forward. So stick around. All right, so we're going to get right into this. I'm going to show you exactly what you need to do. Now, I'm using ChatGPT for this. Now, you can use Claude. You can use any other AI model that you want. Now, I just happen to use ChatGPT because I think this is probably the most common used right now. I'm definitely using other models, but let's do it here in ChatGPT. Now, I went into my ChatGPT account and I created a new project and called it Mark Harbert Persona. Now, one of the things that I did for this is, now I've been creating videos for years, okay? And what I did in this project, one of the cool things with a project is you have the ability to add sources to it. Now, what I did is I took, you can see here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 transcripts from 8 different videos that I did. Now, I've done several. I added in here, I was interviewed on the ClickFunnels radio podcast. I added that in here. It's about an hour long. And I added in all these other videos that range in length from 8 minutes to 20 minutes. And they really go in depth. It's all my speaking patterns and everything. And I loaded in all these transcripts and I used a tool like Descript to get all the transcripts, loaded them into this project. And then I asked ChatGPT, I said, okay, I want you to build out, let's go back up here. Let me show you. I'm going to show you exactly what I did. And here's what I said. I said, okay, now I want you to do is look over all the transcripts that you see in this project. I want you to create an exhaustive list. I'm talking about a huge list of all the common phrases that I use. I want you to make sure that you give me a list that is full of common phrases. Look over all of them and see all the common ones and all the common words and the things you know that I use and put them together in one big list. Do you understand? And here's what it did. It evaluated all of them and created this huge list of phrases that I say all the time. And you can see how big this list is, right? Pretty amazing, huh? And then here's what I did next. And it gave me some direction. It said, take this list and turn it into a style primer for your AI. I said, what would you recommend? Would you recommend a PDF that we take this list and add it to a PDF and then it can be used as a primer? You're talking about a prompt, but I like the idea of a primer better. And of course, it agreed with me. And so here's what I said. It gave me all this feedback. And then I went back in and I said, okay, let's do it. I want you to build out the voice and style primer to be exhaustive with as much information as you can add to it from all the documents that I've given you. I want you to build it out, give summaries, and then create the exhaustive list. Give a summary of everything, really go deep with it, but then give the exhaustive list of phrases that will be included as well. Okay, so here's basically what it did. It went in, it took 7 minutes, and it evaluated it completely, and look what it created for me. This Mark Harbert Voice and Style Primer, and it is, let's see, 11 pages long, and check this out. It gives an executive summary, basically evaluating all my transcripts and giving exact detail on how I speak, how I train, all that. And it basically said, Mark Harbert speaks like a coach, not a lecturer. The voice is practical, conversational, direct, faith-aware, audience-focused, and action-centered. He teaches by breaking ideas into simple parts, restating the key point, giving an example, and ending with a clear step. His language tends to be warm and encouraging, but not soft. He sounds like someone who has done the work, learned the experience, and now wants to shorten the learning curve for others. He often reassures the listener that success is possible for normal people, then immediately pushes them toward action. And it just goes through, and look at this, core voice snapshot, the overall feel, casual, confident. And it's telling everything about my voice style, my style, how I teach, what this voice believes. Action beats overthinking. Thinking matters, but movement matters more. It's giving all this insight into the way I speak, right? And I basically just go down, look at the structural templates he naturally uses. Simple how-to teaching. And this is just how I normally speak. And it breaks it down into like these frameworks of how I speak. Signature strengths in the voice breaks complex ideas into simple next steps. uses plain spoken language that feels natural on camera. Emotional triggers he pulls most often. Hope, you can do this. Relief, this is easier than you think. Clarity, okay, it's giving all this stuff. Now, why would I even want to create this? Okay, frequent verbs, I'll talk to you about that in just a second. Create, use, help, these are all common words that I use. Okay, editorial guardrails for anyone using this primer. Do not write like a corporate brand, because I'm into building a personal brand and I teach others how to do that as well. Don't sound academic, distant, or overly polished. Do not overuse jargon. See, this is all evaluating my voice from those transcripts. Is about, probably 8 to 10 hours worth of transcripts there that I loaded in and gave it. Best practices for generating new content in this voice, and it gives all that. And then look at this. It took the exhaustive, they called it the exhaustive phrase bank. Out of all these transcripts, look what it did, openers and topic transitions. And it gives a whole list of the phrases that I use. Audience directed coaching language. If you want to, just get started. If you're not, and it's taken all of these. Core teaching and explanation phrases, lists them all out. Action and momentum phrases. Framework and structure language, personal conviction and worldview lines, natural spoken fillers and conversational habits. These are all the things that I say, and it broke it all down. Look at this. All right. So, and it lists all the sources filed. Now check this out. Why would you even want to create something like this? Because here's the thing. When you're using something like ChatGPT or Claude or Gemini or Grok, whatever model you're using, you always need to give AI context into what it is that you're doing. There's a reason why when people use AI today, if they are creating something that is really, really generic, and if they just type in a generic prompt, you've literally given AI zero context. You've given it no context whatsoever, so it can't go in and create something that sounds like you because it doesn't really know how you sound. So with a voice and style primer that you can create on your own, and now every time you want to go write something, all you need to do is attach this to the prompt that you give it and say, here's what I want. I want you to write it in my voice and style, and I want you to pull some of the common phrases from my voice and style primer and make sure that what you write sounds just like me. And this is what it'll do. It's the difference between a generic output and a highly personal. Now, this is just one of the 4 primers that I'm currently showing you how to do. There may be more that I, figure out later on, but right now I currently have 3 plus 4. I have 3, and then I'm adding this one in there because I believe that this one is so important to making sure that you're getting an output with AI that matters. All right, so there you go. Did you get value from this video? If you did, do me a favor, comment down below. Let me know how you're going to implement this, because I'm telling you, if you do, you're going to get so much better content as you use AI. And it's so important that you use AI today. I mean, really, we're at a point where if you really want to get ahead, you need to figure out how to use it in your workflows. So I'd love to know. Let me know below how you're going to use this.